Kris, come on up, man.
come
Can you
on
look a
up,
little like you?
Kris.
Come on, Kris. Come on.
The price is right.
Come on, the price is coming
All
to
right.
the
Well,
price
we're
is
here
right.
with Kris. Hello, Kris.
Howdy.
And Kris is an American man.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Why kind of?
Tell us.
Well, yeah, let's get into it. My family's from here, so grew up kind of visiting. Was born in a white suburb, though, of LA.
Yeah.
So that's why I sound like I sound.
But why do you look like you look?
Because my whole generations of family are from this valley, El Valle de Aburrá.
Is there like a hospital where they just make good bunnies? Because you look like good bunny. You look like a good bunny.
Well-
You don't look like a bad, but like a good bunny.
Guilty as charged.
Do people tell you that here, that you look like Bad Bunny?
I've actually gotten it once. I was heading out of a club.
Did you take her home?
No, but she invited me to the Chiva. I had to go home though. Yeah. So
He's a good bunny.
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So families from here, born and raised, and then I kind of grew up visiting. So I kind of got the best of both worlds.
How old are you?
29 this year, knocking on 30's door.
Anything faster you want to ask him really quick? Because we get down to the real shit.
No, well, just to let the audience know and the people watching is that we're going to ask you a question, and you have 5-10 minutes to answer the question. Maybe open up a little bit of a dialogue here, but
and don't shit on my couch because it's my couch. So please don't shit on my couch.
Has that happened
Wait, what?
before? Has that happened before?
May have. It may have, but I don't mean to make it awkward. I'm just gonna ask you questions.
yeah,
This is the first time I'm on the show,
Don't
so
shit on the
it
couch.
wasn't me.
Okay, cool.
Full disclosure, I've not
don't
shot on the
care what
couch.
You're into sexually.
Yes,
All right,
okay.
so
Let's go.
So go ahead, Joel, and ask him the question.
Kris, with a K,
Joel with a J.
you got robbed.
You got robbed.
I like that.
So hey, real quick. Kris has been like laying low in like an apartment, I think is what they call it, for a few days because you got robbed. And can you tell us about that? Like how? Oh wait, no. Let's back up a bit. Question is, how safe is Medellin, Kris?
As safe as you make it.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So I got robbed on Monday at gunpoint by 3 guys. Wasn't great. Made me feel pretty powerless. And I've been visiting here, kind of growing up my whole life, right? But sometimes you got to listen to your intuition. And kind of the story goes as such. I was out to dinner with a couple of friends. We wanted to walk off the meal. And so we hit up Manila, which is like a pretty happening neighborhood. There's always people. But then afterwards, we came upon a street that was a bit more quiet. And right before we hit that street, I told the other 2 guys I was with, I was like, guys, we shouldn't go down the street. It's too dark.
Yeah, what
And
street is that?
It's right by El Éxito del Poblado off the 10. So
What?
a block from here.
O sea, aquí.
Yeah, a block
The
from
one,
here.
the one that goes by Los Patios.
Yep. Yeah.
No mames.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and so right there, that was the first red flag, and it kind of just goes to show how sometimes like something will possess you and you kind of should listen to your gut. But my buddy was like, I walk this all the time. We're good, man. Trust me. We're a block from my house. We'll get home and we'll be good. And I wanted to go to his place because it was, right after Thanksgiving and he had baked some pie.
Yeah. You wanted sex.
No. It was
Whatever, pie,
it was
sex,
a
we called it
it was a
whatever.
male friend.
Go
There
whatever-
was
whatever,
two-
good
There
buddy.
was
Let's
2
go.
other males.
Don't judge.
We're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
we're talking about pumpkin pie. I wasn't gonna put my dick in the pie. I promise.
Go,
It was
whatever, yeah,
it was
so you
just
wanted
it was for the pie.
The fuck?
It was for the pie. It's an American Pie reference. You wouldn't get it. It's okay though.
Everybody was gonna
It's
cry
from a
during
movie,
this
it's from
episode.
a
We're not
movie.
crying about
Oh,
this.
right.
Continue.
I'm
So
sorry.
anyway,
I didn't mean to.
okay,
I
so-
just thought that you were trying to get
So
laid.
your friend said, "Yeah, this is like I walk this all the
Right.
time." You
But
guys
my
continue.
but my gut said no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were feeling.
Right. So
Somebody was telling me yes.
I
Never
thought,
mind.
Your half
I thought
colors
we were
there.
getting into it.
Okay,
No.
Go.
No. So
Go,
so I was the only kind of half Colombian person,
Yeah.
and they were foreigners.
Okay.
Exactly,
Right.
Your
Correct.
Colombian
The
inner
instinct.
said
Yeah.
no.
Yep. And so we walked about a minute, and someone came up behind us. And so there was 3 of us. The sidewalk was not wide enough for us to walk shoulder and shoulder. There was 1 friend in front, and 2 of us in back. And a guy walked up, and he got a little too close. And so we kind of turned around, and first thing we saw was just a straight up gun.
Is it a revolver?
It all happened so fast. I didn't.
Oh,
get
you
to-
didn't
I
check it
didn't
out.
get
No,
to see
I
it.
got it. Okay, no, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay, yeah.
I didn't get to see it. So And the curious thing is, as safe as you may feel with like two buff ass dudes, because one of them was ex-military and the other guy was a bodybuilder, and I'm 6'2", so I'm not some scrawny guy.
Yeah.
But so this guy walks up, he has a gun, and one of my buddies is gonna posture up, and he was gonna try to do something, but there was 3 other guys all with guns, and at that point, your life is way more than what they're asking for. Right. It's a phone and a wallet, which are replaceable. Right. And it all happened so fast. They pointed the guns at us. They're like, "Hey, there's 3 of us. Give us everything you got." We gave them everything we had, and it happened in an instant. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, it makes you feel pretty fucking powerless.
You've been feeling powerless for a few days now.
Yeah,
you have. You told me.
Absolutely.
You've been hanging.
I've been laying pretty low.
They took your shit. They just ran off.
They ran off.
On motorcycles.
Yeah, well, I didn't see it.
Foot. You were just shocked.
Yeah, I mean,
you were in shock. Yeah.
One of the kind of the hottest moment was like the dude was trying to assert some dominance, and he pointed the gun at me and he told me to sit down. And I was like, dude, you have my phone. You have my wallet. Like, what are you trying to prove?
But dude, the guy's like 5'3".
You told him this?
He is. No, I didn't say this.
Oh, I was like, God damn.
No,
what are you trying to prove?
Shit.
What do you want?
Some ballsy
I'm
shit.
not sitting down. You get shot over.
No quieres sentarme.
I know.
Tú no eres mi papá.
I should have.
You know.
That'd be some ballsy shit.
Yeah, no, but you should, man. Every now and then, put that fucking size 13 feet in this.
Yeah. If you tell me to sit down, I'll be on the floor real quick.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it was hands up. And it was just like, hey, man, you got what you had. And they ran off. Afterwards, we were all just kind of in shock. And we kept replaying what I had just repeated about 2 minutes beforehand. I was like, we shouldn't have walked down here, et cetera. So, Joel, kind of rehashing back to your question, how safe is Medellin? It's as safe as you make it because I knew deep down inside I shouldn't have been walking down that street.
No, but hold on. I disagree. I totally disagree with that.
Okay.
Right, because we have people that rent or Airbnbs like literally a corner away,
a block away,
a block away. And they asked me how safe is Manila. I would go, it's very safe. Right now, it's very safe. I'm like, oh, it's very safe, but you should not wear anything that looks like metal because it might be construed as a diamond. Like we can't do that. So you've traveled around a bit.
Sure.
Like, okay, wait. Let's phrase this question differently. Before you got robbed versus now where you've been robbed.
Right.
You've been robbed.
Yep.
How do you feel about Medellin in terms of safety?
Well, I try to look for the kind of learning moment in anything, right? And so it was a wake-up call, really.
Right.
Because I think sometimes you don't realize how hard people have it here. And whether or not they want to kind of dedicate themselves to a life of crime or a steady life of like hard labor, right? People got to make choices out here. And unfortunately, when they're backed into a corner, some people will result to that lifestyle.
Because they need to.
Because they need to.
Yeah. They need
or
to
because
make that money. They need to pay that rent.
don't know any other way, right?
I agree.
So that's kind of my take on it, man. It's like it was an uncomfortable situation.
And what would be your advice to because it's a 10-minute segment. That's all we got.
Sure. Yeah,
so what is your advice to somebody like you that, or not even like you, I don't mean physically, but like anybody coming here to Medellin, they're coming here to have a good time. What's your safety tip?
Respect the city. Be aware of how hard some people have it here, and stick to the spots where you will not be exposing yourself to undue risk. You may not see the authentic Medellin, but this city's seen some shit.
Yeah.
My parents left in the 80s for a fucking reason. It was hot out here. They went to the States. They made a life there. So be aware of that history. And, hopefully in, 3, 5, 10 years' time, if the government gets their shit together and people get educated, it'll be a different story. But right now, it could be kind of risky if you leave the areas you're not supposed to be in.
But would you tell your friends if they're coming, like one of your friends that they're non-Colombian, non-Latino, they're going to come visit here, they've seen your nice pictures of the great views, they've seen, you just having a great time, would you tell them, hey, man, like, you can't just tell them, hey, like, know where you are, because they don't know. They don't know if street left or if they go right, left, or straight, if that's a good place. So what are you telling people that are coming to visit this city that you love?
It's a great question. I would say try to make a local friend. Try to make a local friend that can steer you right. Because if you don't have that person and you're just trying to figure it out, you could end up one wrong turn like I did, right? I was a block away from Manila, one of the nicest neighborhoods, or a very poppin' neighborhood. Safe. You guys live in Manila, right?
Yeah, we are in Manila.
Yeah, we're in Manila right now. Yeah. So if make a friend. So that's all I say.
Let me go. Good. Stay here for a second.
Sure.
Don't. Andrew, I got a question for Andrew because hey, we all live in Manila. I'm gonna ask you in a second because obviously you're a woman living in Manila. But Andrew, if that situation had happened to us because what time was it?
9:30
9:30
on a Monday.
Okay, 9:30 on a Monday. Andrew, we know exactly where he's talking about, and a lot of people think that me and Andrew, we sell this city. We've sold this city for a very long time. It's part of what we do. We love the city, so we always talk very positively of the city. But a lot of things have changed. So what I want to know is, Andrew, you being you, walking through there, we know exactly where it is. You turned that corner, and somebody came up behind you with a revolver, whatever it was, and and they said whatever they said to you. What would you have done? Would you have done anything differently, or what would have happened?
Yeah, I think it's very. I mean, literally, I think about it a lot because obviously I've had a lot of friends that have been robbed here and stuff, and I think I would have ran. I mean, like if I see a gun, I would probably start running.
Yeah.
But I can't say that because it's never happened to me.
Yeah.
I'd probably.
It'd
probably be more like what happened with them was that you see the gun, you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm stuck here now. So it's like, okay, take all my shit. So I mean, I would give up everything. I would be like, you want my fucking shoes? I'll give you my shoes, whatever.
But that's
That
me
doesn't
and your
matter.
personality. I think that's our personality.
Yeah.
That's our personality.
Yeah. So I mean, I think you hit it spot on. Is respect the city, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like I think about it like I'm a pretty good swimmer, but
Yeah.
when I go to the ocean, I respect the
You
ocean.
respect the ocean.
Yeah, like a lot, because literally the smallest wave could take you under.
But what does that mean? Respect the city. You say respect it. We're in Medellin, where it's like it's all over. It's like in the New York Times.
Okay,
it's
so
everywhere.
like
It's
for
what does that
example,
mean?
if I go to like a new beach to go surf, I'm gonna go out and paddle out and stay on the board for a little bit to check out what the waves are like. What that means here is like I'm not gonna go walk around on my own at night. I'm gonna take an Uber. I'm gonna take a taxi, scope it out, and be like, okay, I've seen this. There's a cafe open here, till late. I know I can walk by here because people are there, etc. Yeah, for example, like if I'm new in the city, even though you're in the Beverly Hills of Medellin, which is Poblado, you probably don't want to walk out there because that's where people rob. I mean, you could walk in literally, you will not get robbed. I guarantee that if you walk through Barrio Antioquia with a gold watch and a gold chain, you will not get robbed.
Because that's the ghetto.
Yeah,
You can't just rob in the ghetto.
You're not gonna. If you go to Manrique, you might get killed actually. But
Yeah. No, let's go to Manrique. Have a great Christmas watching fireworks.
you might get killed and robbed and chopped up, whatever. But like in Poblado, this is where people come to rob because it's where the money's at. Right?
But you know the funny thing is, like, I always tell my friends, I'm like, dude, like, I don't want to try to sound tough. I ain't tough until I have to be tough if I need to be tough. But I'm not tough. I'm just like, I'm a normal guy just walking around. But I always say this to like people from, we don't say Americans, but North Americans now because we're more cultured. Canadians, people from the United States of America and Europe. You're tough. You could come from the ghetto, but you don't know what you're fucking with until you fuck with it. And what I'm saying about that is that everybody goes, why did you come? Like a cab driver asked me this today. Oh, so yeah, la gente. Yes, I'm here because of the people. The people are so friendly. But don't get it twisted. Understand the history of where you're from because you will get flipped on top of your head. Your shit will get taken. And you'll be like, they told me these were the great people. It's the same great people. But in those great people, there's some very bad people. And this is not the hood that you think that you're from and you're a tough guy. You come here with all your hood sense that you want. You will get your iPhone taken from you, and you have nothing that you can actually do about it. So what these guys mean about is like know where you are is just if you come here, it's a beautiful place. Don't come with the iPhone 13 Pro and walk around thinking that it's impossible for it to get stolen. If it can get stolen. I need to tell people it can get stolen because I was held up with my iPhone 12 Pro with a fucking revolver. And before that, I never used to talk about that. I used to like buy into this whole like Colombian thing, like, oh, well, the person had a flashy. I don't have a chain. I don't have anything
But you were dressed like.
I was dressed nice.
Because we were going to a wedding. He was dressed like literally in a suit and tie.
But
So
still,
obviously,
still,
I wanted to rob
still,
him.
But yes, I did look a little more expensive.
look
Okay.
expensive.
Last question, Chris.
A black man in a suit, you know he's got money.
But Chris. So I got one question for you. What do you think about now that everything has happened to you, no dar papaya? No dar papaya. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, it's funny because that is a phrase that has been seared into my mind with paisa parents, right? Literally every time I go out, it's like mi hijo la bendición, no es papaya, right? And I don't know. I feel like I wasn't explicitly giving papaya. I didn't have 3 gold chains on. I didn't have a Rolex on, but you can basically, like, not explicitly but implicitly give papaya
because you're 6'2".
Well, no,
Because you look
but
different. You
but
look like
you're
a
in
tourist.
Manila.
also,
And
but
you look
Because
like
you're
a
in
tourist.
the
where
neighborhood.
where you put yourself.
Yeah.
So
You're in the neighborhood.
Exactly.
one of the
You look gringo.
Sure. Two things I want to leave on it as well are the crisis with Venezuela has added more context to what is going on in Colombia, right? So be aware of that. There's people that are hungry, very hungry.
Very.
And December, people want to give gifts. People want to have the idyllic December. And some people, instead of humbling down and working for that gift, they'll rob.
And they may have tried that.
They
It
may
didn't
have
work
tried
out.
that, and they may resort to violence out of just dire straits.
Yeah.
So be aware of the context of where you're going, Medellin, and respect the history of the city is all I would say.
Lovely. Thank you for
cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for
sharing. Hey, he didn't know that was gonna be the story. This is if you're watching YouTube about how safe is Medellin, blah blah blah. That was a real story that he's never even told to me. I did not know the story. Andrew did not know the story. He
Okay,
just
we
shared it for
believe
the
you.
first time on camera. Yes or no?
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Man.
Cheers.
All right.
Thank you.
Certificado.
Follow the fuck out of us.